Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of season 2 of the Multi-Life podcast. Remember to go follow our Instagram at multilife.pod. And now we're going to go around and say hello.
What's up, guys? Another week, another 2 weeks. It's Anthony. Glad to be back.
The very crisp microphone today.
Aha! Some improvements.
Good morning, guys. It's Garrett.
Hi, I'm Melissa Ann.
And I'm Spencer. You might notice I look a little bit different. I've shaved, but...
Oh, that's
Oh my
right.
gosh, baby face.
Wait,
What?
I thought maybe it was your haircut or something, and I couldn't figure it out.
No.
Yeah, just not the ones up here.
Now I look like Garrett, yeah. No, I still have my hair. So.
Now it's time for you to shave, Anthony.
You think so? I
Yeah.
don't think so, bro. I don't think it's the time. Yeah, but I'm not, bro. I haven't seen my bare face in like 4 years now. That's
Wow.
crazy. And it's not, I mean, it's not even like it's that long, right? But yeah,
Right.
I haven't, it hasn't really been short in a while. But yeah, who knows? Wait, what was the reasoning, bro? What was your, why were you?
I just cut it off, I guess, for some odd reason. I realized that the last time I had like such a close shave like this was 2 years ago, and that was for my like undergrad graduation, and literally in 2 weeks is my graduation. So so I was like, well, it's all coming full circle again. Except like last time, I think I shaved the night before like walking the stage, so like the next morning I had like it wasn't real bad, but it was like razor burn, I guess. So I just had like a whole bunch of like aloe vera on my face to, like, try and get rid of like the redness, which it worked, but then my face was like super shiny and like kind of oily all day. So
That's pretty funny.
I'm starting 2 weeks early, but I'm actually kind of hoping it grows back a little bit. Just not as long as it was before I shaved. So
Gotcha.
I see. Nice. Well, good to have a new start sometimes, huh?
yeah.
Garrett, are
fresh
you
start.
growing anything out, or what? What's
No,
your
my girlfriend
plan,
doesn't
bro?
like me.
No,
She doesn't like it grown out, so I shave about
I
every
see.
2 days.
I got you. That's funny. Just because I remember that, like, back when I was getting in my last relationship, it was a lot of, like, there was one person that I messaged on the dating app who was very much, like, the literal second or third message she sent me was, I think you look better if you shave. I was like, okay, like, damn, my bad, like, okay. But then it was, like, the opposite with my last girlfriend who very much liked my hair, so. Well, I don't know. I'm a people pleaser, so I just, I go with the flow. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get into our review section. So just as a reminder for all of y'all listening, we rate our songs K1 through K5, with K1 being dislikable and K5 being repeatable.
So for the first song, we'll be going with 50-50, and it would be a true crime if anybody didn't rate this a K5.
Oh.
But I must say, I gave it a K3.5, so I didn't give it a K5.
With that said, I'm committing arson.
I love the vocals in the chorus. I just really wish there was a music video for this.
Maybe there
when
will
I was-
be. I don't know. It's a
I
pre-release.
don't know, maybe. Yeah, when I was searching up the song, there wasn't very many videos on this. So if you scroll down, I think when you search it up, I think like the 4th or 5th video on YouTube, there's like a bardcore / medieval version of this song. So I was like, so I gave it a listen before I even actually listened to the song. So I was like, okay, I can see it, but there's no vocals in it. And then I checked out the YouTube channel, and they do like medieval versions of like all these popular songs, but since we're not sponsored by them, I'm not gonna give out the name. But you can go look for it yourself.
No free advertising on this channel.
No.
I'm sure everybody knows who they're talking about though, because there's only like one person that makes like a medieval version like of every K-pop song, and then then the comments are like, "How do you make it less medieval?" And it's just like one instrument that makes it sound like that. So
I keep seeing these videos that are like, "Yo, how do I make this not sound like a pirate wrote it?" And it's because they just have like the accordion and like it just sounds like such a sea shanty.
Oh my
so
gosh.
funny.
Yeah, I also, well, okay, honestly, I don't even know if I would put this as high as 3.5. I feel like, honestly, the song overall was quite underwhelming, and I felt lacked identity.
Wow.
I thought it was like chill and catchy, but it didn't have really any sort of it factor that I could really deduce. I don't know. There wasn't anything like keeping me listening to the song, I felt like. I felt very, very apathetic, I guess, towards this song. Just it didn't really spur anything in me. I'd say probably a K2. This is as K2 as a K2 release comes for me, I think.
We got another Crimus.
Interesting.
Yeah, no. That's not, I honestly, I don't know what it was. Just this song is like by far my least favorite 50/50 like thing that I've interacted with from them.
The rebranded 50/50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I haven't liked really. I mean, SOS was fine, but this 50/50 is not the same as how 50/50 was before. And yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I think Melissa Ann, since you rated it a K4 in the Discord, right?
Yeah.
So we'll end on like on a better note. But I kind of agree with Anthony on this part. I think I would rate it a K3 though instead of K2. I think the instrumental sounds very much like a 50/50 song, but the lyrics are kind of alright. And the reason why like I wouldn't rate it higher is because the way that they fit the like title text like perfect crime in the song just felt awkward to me. The song is too slow for my taste, but they sound great. Like their voices sound good. So I kind of really want them to make an English song, just because I think their pronunciations are really good. But my favorite part was like the bridge and
I think I know what Anthony's laughing
Yeah,
about.
I think you know too.
is it the way I say pronunciation?
Yeah, it was the way that you said pronunciation. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I don't mean.
But
I'm being
We're having
a
deja vu
stickler.
here.
Yeah.
I'm being a stickler about words today.
I think whenever we go over like an Illit song, I'll just say that just to make you
An
cringe
Illit
in your
song.
seat.
In Illit, yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
Eyelet. It's Eyelet.
Yeah.
No, I think it's Illit.
Yeah.
Melissa Ann, didn't you say you had an interaction like that at a concert?
Yes.
Where
I couldn't tell if you were trolling
someone said Illit, and you were like, "Oh, you mean Eyelet?" And they're like, "No, Illit."
Yeah.
Wasn't
like,
it the
okay.
XG
Oh.
concert that we went to?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garrett and Spencer were there to witness that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. Very, very strong K4 from me. I'm not usually a 50/50 fan. Like, I'm surprised, Spencer, that you said you felt like this song was slow, because I felt like this was one of the songs that they kept moving, and that's why, like, I really dislike stagnant songs that don't really go anywhere. So I was like, okay, like, this actually goes somewhere. Like, the arpeggios, I really liked the arpeggios that start the song. And they're not just, like, synths. They kind of have, like, this percussive element to it. I don't know how to explain it, but it, like, is, like, very striking notes. And I really like instrumentation that is percussive in general, because it makes me feel like I'm moving somewhere, or building energy. And that just goes back to when y'all know I love Charlie XCX. So Charlie XCX was in this like Genius video, I think, going over songs that she really liked, and she was like, oh, I really like this song by Sophie because the notes are so percussive. And so ever since then, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know that's like, she's describing exactly what I like. Like, I like percussive notes, not like drums necessarily, but just like if the synths have this like, it feels like you're kind of like banging into them. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, the notes have more like weight behind them.
Weight.
In a way.
Yeah. It has like a, anyways, so.
Yeah, like a force or punch. It's not just the tone.
Exactly. So I like that. I agree. I didn't realize how much this would bother me, but I also agree that I don't like the title Perfect Crime. I wish it was called Crazy Crazy. Like, I thought that would have been such a cute title. I don't know why they went with, I don't know. And it would be like so much easier to look up too. So it's like, why are you doing that to yourself? But I thought it was a beautiful song. Like, it actually might be a K 4.5 the more I think about it. It was just so well done. Their vocals are so good. And I thought they really shone because even though the instrumental was kind of driving in the background, it didn't swallow them up. So you could really hear how mature they were with their voices and making sure everything was like flowing, and they weren't just like singing the words off the page. Like, you can tell they have some thought into how it was all going to fit together. So anyways, yeah, I'm ending us on a good note. I really liked it, which is unusual because I'm like, yeah, I don't really tend to like 50/50 songs that much, but this was good.
And also, usually our dynamic is reversed, where I'm like glazing the song, and you're like, this is okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, interesting dynamic.
Nerdy version 2. Version 1 was by Purple Kiss. Oh. But version 2 by ifeye. I guess. Well, I'll start off with my K rating, which is like K3. But I feel like some people could argue this is a slow song, but I just like the rhythm of the chorus, and then like when they spell out nerdy, it just sounds great when they say it. Mm-hmm. But I'm curious to know if this song sounds like another song to anyone else, because for some reason it felt super refreshing to me. Like, I don't know, I just couldn't think of another song that like sounded like this in terms of like instrumental and like how they sang the words.
See, I made a similar note where something about the song just felt like a distant, unidentifiable like nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like, there were just different parts of the song that they felt like they reminded me of something, but that sensation wasn't strong enough for me to actually identify anything that I could like really link it together with. And honestly, like, for me overall, in terms of my like enjoyment of this song, I did think that comparatively, and this is something that I kind of I analyzed, I think, throughout all of the songs that we're going to talk about, is just how much of an identity I feel like the song itself holds or bolsters. And I feel like this song definitely does have a lot more identity when I think about how I would kind of categorize or just when I think about the characteristics of this song, I feel like it has more of an identity than the 50/50 song that I had been listening to before. But beyond that, like, nostalgia feeling, I don't feel much like being evoked from listening to this song. Like, it felt like something that was just on. And again, the nostalgia like gave me something to think about and like try to identify like why I felt that way, but it wasn't the feeling of like, it wasn't the song itself. It was those kind of feelings that it was causing. So interesting.
That's funny because it actually, when I was watching the music video, I was like, I hear so much of like Eyelet's influence in it. Something about how it was more low-key but also magical sounding, which is kind of like, I think, Eyelet's vibe. I guess, wait, did you say your rating, Anthony?
I'd probably give it like a K 2.5 or a K 3.
Okay, this is another very strong K4 for me. unexpectedly, because I listened to the whole EP when it first came out, and I was like, it's good, but nothing really stood out to me. But then watching the music video, and it just grew on me. Like, it could have easily made it into like an Islet copycat song, but there's this parts of the instrumental are actually dissonant. So it's like, it almost seems like it doesn't follow the chords that they're singing along with. It almost is like, has this like spooky sound. And I thought that was a good contrast and maybe contributed to Anthony's feeling of like distant nostalgia, because it's just like kind of in the background and you don't really notice it unless you like really listen for it. And I thought that was just that little touch that made them more unique than just like Islet copycat.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the music video. Like, they put that's a good budget for a new group, and I'm really excited to see what else they come up with. I was planning to look up more about this group, but I ran out of time. So if anybody knows like their history, or if we know any of the members from before, just let us know.
That's a great question. Would you rate IRL higher than Bubble Up?
Oh,
For the EP?
I don't remember how IRL goes, but I re-listened to Bubble Up because Kyle, our friend Kyle, really liked it. So I was like, oh, let me re-listen to it. And I was like, yeah, it's totally Kyle coded, is what I said.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember IRL to like be able to compare the two. But I'll go back and listen to it. Like, honestly, this is hearing Nerdy and liking it a lot now is convincing me to re-listen to the rest of the album.
I think IRL was my favorite.
Okay.
Because it sounded most like what I listened to, but I like Nerdy for being new to me, if that makes any sense. So I think IRL would be more likely to be in my playlist, but if Nerdy came up, I don't know, like every other month or something, I'd feel like I'd love it. So, but I don't think I could listen to it like repeatedly.
Gotcha.
I also rated this kind of high, like Melissa Ann. I think it has the potential to be a contender if I listen to it more. I really enjoyed the lyrics and the vocals.
Vocals were good.
I just feel like, just a side note on like the music video, I feel like it's been forever since I've seen like a high school MV. It reminded me of like all the slice of life animes I used to watch.
I think that's because New Jeans have been missing from the scene, and I feel like that was kind of their thing.
Yeah, it opened a void.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Triple S Generation, that kind of like opening scene. But yeah, I also feel like it's not been a prominent trope recently.
It's I would say it's been prominent in the boy group scene. I think that was brought about by, I think I would personally point to 2US reviving the fresh, youthful school sound, and that's throwback to our reel.
Yeah.
We're talking about a big pencil, and that music video is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
The big pencil and the SpongeBob song.
Yep, very nice. Nihoy Minoy.
Maybe if we're talking about ifeye being a copycat of Islet, maybe it's ifeye instead of ifeye.
ifeye.
Can we confirm it's ifeye?
Oh,
Is
my
it
God.
confirmed?
Yes, in the Hangul, in the Korean letters, it's ifai. Or ipai.
Let's make a term in Western culture for ifeye.
ifeye.
Yeah.
Also, did you know that Wi-Fi it's just a play on hi-fi,
Oh my
but it doesn't
yes.
actually mean wireless fidelity?
Yeah.
Very, yeah. We just be liking catchy stuff. That's we're
Hi-fi,
simple
Wi-Fi,
creatures.
Hi-fi.
That's exactly right. All right. Well, next song, "Oh My" by Oh My Girl. Has Oh My Girl been like consistently promoting? When was their last release?
That's a good question.
Was it colorful, or did they have one since then? Or am I thinking of the weekly album? I'm
I think
thinking
you're
of
thinking of Weekly.
I don't think that's an oh my girl.
there's a blue album cover that I'm thinking of.
Ooh.
Um,
Oh, is it like a magical song? I think. Like
oh, it was yeah. Oh wait, maybe I'm literally just thinking of this cover. What am I? I looked up and the most recent one is just blue cover with golden hourglass. Yeah, Celebrate. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, so they had one EP last year, but other than that, it's been kind of slow. This I was immediately, as y'all may be able to predict, was immediately excited by hearing such a prominent bass guitar part. Was very like you could hear like the slappy of the like strings against the fretboard, and I like just that kind of grooviness that provides. So instantly that had me like my ears perk up. But yeah, on the theme of my comments being like identity, this song sounds not only like a summer song, and not only like an Oh My Girl song. This sounds like a summer Oh My Girl song.
Oh.
Which, like, it fits not only in the context of itself in a song, not only in the context of, like, the, I guess, season that you could, like, enjoy the song in, or put, like, a playlist that has a seasonal kind of vibe to it, where I think that this would be more summer, but also just in the context of the discography of the group itself. I think that it fits in there too, and so this is a very kind of nice puzzle piecey type song, which I very much appreciate. I don't think that this song's like a 10 out of 10 by any means. Like, I'm not rating it a K5, but I think like K3.5, K4, definitely more enjoyable than the other two, and in terms of, in addition to kind of the art that Oh My Girl puts forward, I'd say that this does a great job for kind of going alongside their other pieces. So yeah, very enjoyable. What did y'all think?
I rated it a K3. I agree with you saying like this is very much like an Oh My Girl song. That was one of the points that I have, and it sounds good. Like, I love Oh My Girl. And then I was like looking at the description and I guess like the hashtags, and this is like 10th anniversary special, which
Yeah, I
is
was
kind
gonna
of
mention
crazy
that.
that they've been around for that long, because
Yeah.
I feel the songs that I associate like Oh My Girl with are like the Dun Dun Dance and Nonstop, and those were 4 and 5 years ago,
Right.
which is kind of crazy. And then I don't know, and then I was like looking at the like K-pop profiles for the group, the members, and I guess like I should expect this from a 10-year-old group, but some of the ages, like Mimi is 29, and I guess this is what the group is, but it's interesting to me that they're doing like this kind of cutesy concept at like age 30 basically. So I don't know if they'll ever kind of branch out and try to do something else, or like a different concept, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Those were watching and hearing this song made me kind of go back in time for them rather than dwelling on how good this song was. So to me, they're just like one of the groups where you think they're forever young. So
Forever young.
yeah, not trying to tag Blackpink in that, but but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good. So
My first Oh My Girl song was Liar Liar, and that
Yeah.
song is a bop.
That is a bop.
And I really like the music video for that one too. It's like a good music video.
Yeah, very cute.
So yeah, that that was like when I first got into K-pop. So yeah, 10 years is crazy. I would rate this a pretty strong K3.5, a little bit too empty for me. So, but I feel like they made the silence was tasteful. Like in the chorus, it kind of like the instrumentals kind of dropped out a little bit. But they did a good job not making it sound hollow. But I personally don't like empty choruses in general, so it was like not really my style. but it could grow on me. I didn't understand what they were saying after saying, I guess, oh my or something. But then they flashed the hanja on the screen. I was like, oh, because I can read some Chinese. So they were saying deep he because hai, like the he is like ocean. And so they showed the hanja for ocean. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what they're talking about. And I loved the music video, like the blue and then like the little sushi, like fish market vibes. It was just so cute. I
Very
loved
cute.
it. And like it had, usually anniversary singles are like really like homemade music video vibes. Like it's just like shows like clips of them in the past. But
Right.
they like put out a whole music video like that had
Yeah,
budget.
yeah.
I was really, really surprised. The song overall, like what you said, had just oh my girl identity to it. So it really brought me back to like third gen girl group sound. And so I think if I was craving that sound with the more modern spin, I would reach for this song.
I would also rate this song K3. I thought it was pretty average, but I did love the music video. Why are y'all laughing?
It's just very, I don't know. It was, I don't know. You're a goofy guy, bro. You're a goofy guy, Garrett.
Your existence is
You're
a
a goofy
joy.
guy. Have you?
Your
You all know that
existence brings
guy?
joy.
We all know that that guy on this. Do you ever get that comedian on Instagram like Morgan J?
Yes,
you know what I'm
yes,
talking
yes,
about,
yes,
like the
I
bearded guy. He's like,
do.
"Are you a goofy guy? You to be a goofy guy."
He's funny.
He is really funny. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you're a goofy guy, Garrett. Yeah, make me laugh.
Okay.
Just to be clear, we're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I really thought the rapping part was perfect. It had good flow for the song. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. I feel like other K-pop songs should follow this as an example.
You know what?
How
You
to
know
include a
what?
rapping part.
It made me think of how I think the female rapper is disappearing. Like, yes, every K-pop song still has that hallmark rap that needs to be fit in. But, like, it's not the same as third gen, like fifth gen. I guess we have Baby Monster and they have pretty strong raps. But other than that, it's been pretty, like, it's almost like reciting it rap.
Yeah.
Not like
It seems to be like
rapping it rap.
YG's focus, because Blackpink
Yeah.
also has strong raps. Obviously, Lisa,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, Lisa, Jenny, yeah, and so Baby Monster. I feel like if I'm thinking about like, I don't know. There are a lot of like hit or miss type raps, because I'm thinking about like Yuna's rap in 20. It sees 20, for example, like her really fast rap section, that went pretty viral, or people tended to like that section, for example. But I agree that I think, or it's similar to what I think Garrett was kind of getting at. There are a lot of rap sections in more modern K-pop that do feel forced, or even, yeah, like they're included more out of like obligation than that they're actually building onto the song, that they're providing anything of value that lifts the song up. It's more of like just, oh, we need a rap first. We have a rap member in our group. We need to make them rap. I don't know. That's kind of.
I don't know if that would be my perspective, because I know a lot of people complain about like, why do they always force a rap part in the song? And I think I actually like it, because that's what, to me, is one of the biggest factors that makes a K-pop song, is that no matter how vocal instrumental it is, there's always that one rap part, and that makes
Yeah.
it different than Western pop songs. And so I like that. I like how it's kind of forced in and what they can do with it. But like, the girls these days, they just don't embrace it all the way. Like you gotta
Girls
like,
these days, y'all young whippersnappers, y'all don't appreciate the art form.
Yeah, I mean, cause like I'm thinking back to even like a vocal heavy group like Mamamoo, but like Moonbyul just like kills the raps every time.
Right.
Like she's like using all her energy. She has a flow to it. You know, she just like embraces it, and I feel like maybe it's just the way the raps are written now, where it's like hard to get into it or something. But it's like I miss that about third generation K-pop, just like all the girls just being like very, very explicitly good at rap. So, and then, but that's kind of ironic because I think I would say that's one of the reasons I like ENHYPEN is because they don't focus on rapping as much. They focus more on vocals, but I don't know. I think I'm like being semi-hypocritical here, but if we're just talking about girl groups, then yeah, I do prefer a good rap for Stin. So, okay. Next, we're moving on to Hello Stranger by EUNBI, and did anybody notice that the pre-chorus sounded familiar?
Yup, does Michael Jackson's wanna be starting something? Absolutely.
Yes.
Instantly.
Okay, and it's funny because the only reason I knew what exactly that reference was because I had listened to DSTM by 108 recently, and I also was watching Form of Therapy's reaction to it, and that one is a interpolation of Rihanna's Don't Stop the Music, or Please Don't Stop, I don't know what the title is. And then that Rihanna song samples that part of Michael Jackson's song. So it's like a chain now. Like we're going from Michael Jackson, Rihanna, 108, and now EUNBI. So it's all connected. Yeah, I just thought that part was really, really funny. And I was like kind of chuckling when I heard it. But overall, good song. I would rate this a solid K3. Like today's, all of these songs have been like solid, where I feel like, yes, like these were genuinely like very good songs. I am a little bit worried, and this is like, we could have this whole debate, but like at what point is it playing off your strengths and what you know you're good at and what kind of songs you know are successful for you versus being boxed into a certain sound, and that's all that you know how to do? Because I feel like Hello Stranger has the same vibe as like Underwater, and like I'm blanking on her other songs, but
yeah, Glitch, any number of, I so, not to derail from your comments or whatever, but I like agree that this sounds like an EUNBI song.
Yeah.
You know, if we're gonna talk about identity, if we're gonna talk about thematicism or what have you, but yeah, very much including EUNBI's power vocals,
right.
her ability to really like plant herself and just belt these really powerful melodies, and similarly to Melissa Ann, you made a note in the Oh My Girl song about how the instrumental kind of like ducks out of the way a little bit and makes way for that kind of vocal performance, and I appreciate how they do that in this song as well. Like in this song, when we get to the chorus, or even just kind of all throughout it, it's very much the instrumental's just like a single line kind of pizzicato that's just kind of plucking out the chord. It's not like there are multiple instruments building on this like multi-layered, multi-octave like chord that's pushing the emotion towards you. It's more just providing the basis on which EUNBI can perform and kind of do her thing. And to your point, this happens a lot in her music, where it is that formula of there's a basic melody or a basic kind of chord structure. Like I'm thinking specifically in Underwater, it's the same kind of 16 beats. Yeah, 4 measure, the boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. And it's just that. It's the same 6 chords or whatever,
Yeah.
split up into the 3 notes over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Right.
And it's like, yes, it's good. Do I like almost all of EUNBI's songs? Yes. Is this a sound that I vibe with and that I am looking forward to hearing when she comes out with music? Yes. Do I think she is capable of more, and do I think that she has, exhibited the ability to reach beyond these horizons? Also, yes. Am I that worried? Not really. I don't know. I think she's attacking her market well, and I don't know if she necessarily I don't know if there's a need to divert, to sidestep, other than maybe a will to express creative freedom, or a will to to prove in some fashion that you have the capability of rising beyond your station, etc. But I don't know how necessary it is, but I do echo your thoughts, and I definitely, this is something that I also kind of notice, but it's less of a concern and more of something that I kind of look forward to, at least right now. In the long term, maybe my view might be different, and I think that's probably where your worry stems from. But for right now, I think I'm relaxing.
I was trying to think of what concept I would want her, what kind of sound I would want her to explore, and the first song that came to mind was I Can't Stop Me by Twice. Can you imagine her just belting out the chorus, but then also it has more of a retro instrumental rather than, to me, her songs sound very tropical to me. So
yeah,
I could see her still utilizing her very powerful vocals, but then having a very different feel to the instrumental. I think I would like her to go in that direction, but we'll see. I thought for the music video, I don't know if I can't decide if I like it or not. I noticed there was a lot of special effects and lots of sweeping shots, and I don't know, it seemed a little bit chaotic at times. Mm-hmm. And at times the lighting was really bad. So I there's sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. You did take your time.
I was seeing Garrett's messages come through. Anyways,
oh my gosh.
What is this guy doing?
He really has to.
Oh boy.
Sorry about that.
Unprofessional.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I wasn't just randomly laughing out of the blue. Yeah, and there was this one scene where it's her and all the dancers all as a silhouette, so you can't even see which one is her. I was that's so pointless. I did not understand that shot at all. But she was swinging around this flute thing, stick with ribbons on it. I mean, she worked those shots, but I would be I would be so awkward if somebody was here's this stick, now maneuver it and make it look good.
It reminds me, have y'all seen 16? The Twice
I've seen clips
survival
of it.
show?
Yeah, little bits of it.
It reminds me of one of the earlier challenges that they did, where literally they walked into a room and they just had 16 or however many just random objects. And they had to go one by one and pick one, and you'd pose with it. So, for example, Somi had literally this ginormous fish. Literally, I am not exaggerating if, it would, fit inside of this arm. My arm, it's big. She was literally holding it up. It was, her entire, it was the size of her.
Oh my gosh.
Stuff like that, and it's just really crazy because it was a live fish. She pulled it out of a big ginormous tub of water, and it was just flopping around or whatever as she was holding it up. And it's that's I'm like, I don't know. I understand it's like a challenge or whatever, but like, how much of that is on her? And granted, she did great. Like the final, maybe you can edit if we make this a reel or whatever. You edit like the picture or whatever. She looked great. But something to be said about how idols are expected to kind of just work with whatever. If someone has a vision and someone's like macaroni cheese, someone's like, what if we made microwave mac and cheese? And that's the theme. That's it. And someone went, bro, you cooked. And then they made the sets. I think I shared that whole behind the scenes video that the director, because it was like a Western like YouTuber director type thing that they flew out, and they built out a whole they just built out all these sets, and it's a very creative, very experimental endeavor. But I don't know. My head's all over the place. Whatever.
No, you're good. I think of Jopping as well, the song by Super M, where it's like
when you're jumping and popping.
Yeah, jumping and popping, we jopping, and like such a meme of a song, but like objectively, without the cringy lyrics, really, really good. And it turns out like they interviewed the songwriters later, and they were like, "Yeah, weed may or may not have been involved when we wrote this." And everyone's like, "Oh, that's why," because like who comes up with that? And then what's funny was like, oh, I was dying when they went on the Ellen DeGeneres show and they were like showing her how to jop. I was like, no. And they were like jopping on the couch.
Oh my gosh. Someone get them. Go get your mans.
Oh my gosh.
God. Anyway, Spencer, you want to share your thoughts about the song?
I think y'all pretty much summed up. I have 2 points for the song, and y'all touched both of them.
Oh.
Well, I guess my first point is it sounds very much like Underwater, so we kind of talked about that box, I guess. But I don't mind it. I think I missed the like Michael Jackson sample, like that's kind of sound, but it does sound like Underwater to me, and then I can't believe that song was 2 years ago. So,
oh wow.
I guess in terms of the music video, I think Melissa Ann kind of touched on the aspects that she was like not really a fan of. But I mean, the only thing that I liked about the music video was the dark red theming. So.
And I liked how she switched to the blue outfits too. I thought that was a nice contrast.
Yeah, but no, I agree with like the kind of like stick with ribbons. I mean, it looked like a flute to me, and then the fact that it was showed in like the first three seconds of the music video when she like holds it up to her face, the flute, and I'm like, okay, so when's the flute gonna come in? And then the flute never came in the song. So
I see what you mean.
I don't know.
No, also I was a little bit disappointed with, she had that really cool bejeweled mask, and I was imagining it to be like Jisoo's kind of like gas mask scene. We have an emote of it in our server.
Oh yeah.
And it was
welcome back.
You feel relieved.
What's good on me? Yeah.
Whoa, what do you mean? I was never gone. What are you talking about? This is the whole time.
So anyways, like it was more like a hard mask. There's like other girl groups where they have like really cool masks, but they're kind of like solid. But when she took it off, it was so clear. It was on one of those like fabric masks that everybody was wearing during COVID, and they just had like stuck rhinestones on it. So it looked a bit cheap. Just the way the ear loops were, I was like, oh, that's just like more like a plain surgical mask.
They had arts and crafts before the video.
Yeah, honestly. But maybe that's just the budget they had, so.
All right. Y'all had a great conversation. I rated this song a K4.9. That was really good. I really liked it.
Okay.
We don't have...
Bro is making his scale.
Yeah.
We only have quarters.
He's silly guy.
Well, I'm different. I'm a goofy guy.
He's built different.
So what's stopping me from the 0.1 you asked, right? Anybody want to ask that? Anyways,
What's
let's
stopping
Yo,
you?
Garrett,
Is
what's
there a point one?
what would give you that point one?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I really thought that there would be more flute in the video because she's holding one. Besides that, the music video and the song's really good. I really enjoyed it. But if there was just more flute, because she's showing one, that'd be the
So what if
icing
you
on
had
the
like
cake.
not watched the music video?
If I didn't watch the music video, K5 for sure.
Wow, so rare
That's
instance the
crazy.
music video detracted from the enjoyment of the
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dang,
Yeah.
don't show instruments that don't show up in the instrumental.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
rule now.
Write that down.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Who wants to intro? Anthony, you want to do it?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we ran a little long, but we've just got kind of a mishmash of different discussion topics here. It's more, I think, kind of... I think we're going to try to talk more about the comparison of... Or maybe some of the things that change, or some of the... differences just in general of how foreign audiences are able to experience the product of K-pop versus domestic markets is kind of my direction of thinking for these kind of questions. For example, like the way to acquire tickets for concerts or merchandise for concerts or like what have you. So, for example, I mean, for us here in America who need to go get tickets for concerts or whatever, typically it's, being ready to log in when tickets drop so that you can have the best chance of being like first in the line or whatever, right? And just hoping that you can get lucky enough to not have to buy resale. Is like ultimately, if you're looking for good, solid seats, and you're not looking to break the bank, you're trying to beat out the resellers, which are ultimately, that's the ultimate goal, right? And I think a lot of my experience when I was looking at concert tickets on like Interpark for being in Korea, the tickets were... Well, a lot of it was more based on the lottery system. I think that a lot of ticket sales, album sales, like different like meet and greet events or like album signings or different things like that are often lottery based, which I think kind of it has pros and cons, right? Of, you can just get like immensely unlucky, and in some ways you never really get the opportunity to experience those like certain, maybe once in a lifetime type things that you would want to try to experience. But on the other side of things, you aren't getting literally priced out by the people who, have, and therefore, maybe they don't want it as much as you do, but they have the, the money to buy it or whatever, and so they just naturally are going to get it. So like there's that kind of difference. And then on top of that, since, you have like, Korea's a small country, right? Like you can take a slow train from Busan in the southeast corner to Seoul in the northwest corner in like 4 hours. And so traveling for concerts is not as large of a concern, right? Versus in America, where it's like, even if you're driving to the next city, like I know Melissa Ann, you were talking about how you were glad that ENHYPEN said that they were coming to Houston, because you were planning on, perhaps I'm gonna have to drive to San Antonio,
Right.
And that factors into the price of the ticket and that kind of thing, especially for things like when I went and saw aespa in Chicago. Flew there, hotel, food, like blah blah blah. It's all with the price of the concert, right?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. Like, do y'all find like kind of difficulty with the American kind of experience, I guess, of trying to see these K-pop groups? Are there Are there other things that I haven't really talked about that you think are things that you consider when you're looking to buy or attend different concerts?
I think a lot of these companies are already jacking up their face value prices for tickets. And, you know, back when K-pop artists didn't always come to the US, that was fine because K-pop fans would be like, well, I'm not really a fan of them, but I never get to see K-pop in my city. I'll go. I'm willing to pay up. Now, like, so many groups, like even the smaller ones, come to the US, and I feel like, at least in my state, we're kind of getting oversaturated by how many K-pop groups come to either Dallas or Houston, and then sometimes San Antonio. So people are getting more picky, and people are wanting to go to multiple concerts, but then now they're having to decide because they can't afford two $200 tickets plus travel if they're in different cities. Like, I think like they just don't understand. And also what I hate is how little time they give you between announcing the concert and then the tickets going on sale. Like, I have seen multiple comments where people are like, I have to save money, like a lot of money for this, and you're giving me like a week to decide whether I want to go or not. And then that just leads to like a lot of stress and like maybe immature spending behavior. I don't know, because people have FOMO, like we touched about at the end of our notes here. Or they just don't go at all because they just can't afford it. And so then you've just lost a customer. So I really admire Just Be. We talked about their song Chest, our last episode, but they had a special where they were offering $9.99 tickets, like $9.99, for their stops. And they also had some VIP packages if you wanted to spend more and get more out of the experience, where you can like meet them and take photos with them or something like that. So I'm like, that's how it should be done. Like, they know they're a smaller group. They know that like to get people in the door, you have to price it reasonably because people are having a lot of decisions right now when it comes to K-pop concerts. So like if they were in Houston, I would have purchased a $10 ticket to support them. Like, I thought that's like really, really fair to me.
And it's nicer because like I like the small venue concerts more than big venue concerts. Being more personable, more personal, being more
intimate.
Just being more intimate, more involved, more, you know, it's a nicer, more intimate experience. And for those being, I like that those are typically, you know, also the more affordable. Same with like when I went and saw Jay in Dallas, he was performing at it wasn't at the Factory, but it was something like next to the Factory in Deep Ellum. It was a small venue, and like there you walked in and they had like a bar on one side and then the stage, and it was just an open floor, and then there was like a small table in the corner for merch sales or whatever. And then Jay was just sitting there. He was just like chilling, and it was just completely like open, right? And so like those kind of experiences or whatever, like you get so much more like for your money, like in terms of like getting those more individual experiences versus the big market, you know, groups where it's not that feasible, or it's like a safety liability for the idols at a certain point. So yeah, it's a lot. And then kind of continuing on like as an extension of concerts, but merch just in general, where a lot of the promotions are often like limited to being in Korea, right? Because a lot of them are like either Korean product promotions or otherwise just naturally it's the domestic market, so you're going to have more interactions or opportunities to make those purchases there. But for, you know, concert sales, merch tables, international orders, those kind of things, like especially now with like the pricing of imports increasing, it's kind of scarier to or harder to make those commitments, those financial, because like now I'm going to concerts with, you know, I have to be specifically like, not only am I saving for the tickets, right? But if I'm like, if I want to
Right.
buy
Yeah.
a fan or like a
Light
you know,
stick.
fan light stick, yeah. If I want to buy T-shirts, if I want to buy a hoodie, if I want to buy, you know, a hat or anything like that, like I'm budgeting for that as well, because it's not just a $20 purchase. It's like the shirt is $40, the hoodie is
Right.
like, it can be $80, $90.
Yeah.
Like it's significant, and it's not not trivial. Same with like Melissa Ann, for example, light sticks.
Yeah.
Right? You're thinking about the Enhypen light stick. Like you wanna talk about what you're kind of going through right now?
Yeah, so Hive has started doing this thing where a lot of groups release different versions of their light sticks as time goes on, like kind of new and improved, or give their old design a facelift. But now Hive, I think only Hive so far. I haven't heard it with any other company, but their light sticks have started expiring if you don't have the newest version. So I have version 1 of Enhypen's light stick, and in July it will no longer sync at concerts, and their concert is in Texas is in August. So that means that before August I need to buy their version 2 light stick, which is probably more expensive now. And yeah, it's like, and it's the same. It does the same thing. Like, it's literally just a light that flashes and has
It's
the
like
colors.
planned obsolescence, ultimately.
Yeah, and it's
Well,
like,
in a
why?
way.
Yeah, and it just like feels like kind of a slap in the face, because it's like, dude, like if you're buying a light stick, you already support them more than the average fan, and it's like that. It's just so unnecessary. It's such a money grab.
Yeah.
But I guess at the end of the day, that's people still spend money. People like me will be like, okay, well, I'll buy the second version. So
Right.
I don't know.
Because I'm thinking about like Twice as well, because Twice had their initial candy bong, and then which was just like a white yellow and pink kind of spiral with like just a white light. And then after that they got their other light stick that actually had I think it was their candy bong Z, I think is what they called it, or something like
Yes.
that, that had the lights on around it, and it's synced to an app. Terrible app, by the way. The apps for these are just
Yeah.
notoriously bad in my experience, but
Yes.
I digress. They replaced it with that, and then that one got replaced with another Lightstick V2 that now is, I think, now they're on their third iteration. But then on top of that, it's like, there are some like smaller groups that I typically see this where they just like sell tour light sticks, like tour specific light sticks that are just limited time. I think I have one from maybe a Triple S concert, or maybe one from a Purple Kiss one as well. But yeah, so like those are cute, and those I'm like, oh, it's a limited time, it's approved, like I was here because I had to have been here to get this. But it is if the group then gets more successful and then has an actual light stick, then I'm probably not going to be using the tour one. So I don't know, it turns into a matter of like practicality versus collectability. And so yeah, I don't know.
I almost want to like wrap this up with kind of the question is like, how much would you spend in total for like a single like concert? Because I just remember, or like I recently saw this reel where this girl was saying she spent like $1,400 to go, or to be able to go see Stray Kids or ATs, or I forgot who, it was like some boy group, and she was just ranting about how expensive it is, because she's like, if I'm paying $1,400, at that point I want them on top of me. I was like, okay, but like I would never spend $1,400 to like go see someone. I feel like I think the most me and Garrett ever spent was, probably $700 combined, and that was to go see BM with VIP, like maximum VIP tickets, and that was like a one night hotel. So, and I think that's probably the max, and that was like for two people. That wasn't just one person. So I feel if it were just me, I think $500 maximum would be for including the ticket and travel and merch. But and that kind of price range does match a lot of tours that I would go see, or like groups that I would go see, and I still haven't spent, like, wouldn't just go do that on a whim, because $500 is still a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you asked that question, because I've had to really, really wrestle with that with Enhypen's concert coming up. VIP 1, which is what I want, because it has send-off and sound check and send-off, and other smaller perks as well, projected to be like probably around 1K per ticket.
Yeah.
And this is not on and I'll have to spend that and get the light stick and save for, I always get a t-shirt at concerts I go to, and like I had to buy the $23 membership to get the pre-sale code. Like, there's so many other things you have to spend money on in the experience, and I'm just like really, really struggling. But like, I know I have the money, just it's in savings and I could use it for other things too. But I'm kind of like, I think I've decided our previous editor, Clara, is going to help me ticket, which I'm so, so grateful for, because I would just be stressed out of my mind.
Shout out Clara. But I think I'm going to tell her, like, it'll be VIP 1 or just a regular, like, seated ticket, because all I want is send off. And even then, like, that's the thing, people are saying, like, oh, well, send off isn't even, like, you're not even guaranteed interactions with them, because if it's like 5 people deep, like, you're at the back, then I'm like stressed now. It's like, I can imagine myself being like the shortest person, because I am pretty short, like 5 people back, I can barely see them, and I'll be like, I spent like 2K on this whole thing. And I can't even get anything signed or a picture with them. And we're still, and all of this money we're giving on and this is on like per stop basis, right? Like our multiple stops, we have multiple, thousands of people paying thousands of dollars for all this, whatever. And then we're still getting scandals where the idols are like, actually, I have not been paid in multiple years.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, where's the money going?
Yeah. I know.
No, it's crazy.
So I have like woken up in a cold sweat just like thinking about my concert ticket dilemma. Like, it's been on my mind. But I'm kind of thinking, like, it's kind of a sign for me, at least, that they're coming to Houston instead of San Antonio. And I think what I've decided is, like, I'll try my best for VIP 1 this year, and then if they ever come back, which I think would be very, very low chance from now on, I'll just get a regular ticket saying that, yes, I did VIP 1, I tried it, hopefully I liked it, and then I can just, like, enjoy whatever shows at my leisure without that much money. But it's the FOMO. Like, I really don't, I highly, highly doubt they're going to come back to Houston specifically in the future. So just kind of, and if they do, I'll buy like a cheaper ticket next time.
Yeah, and it's a difference when it's your old group versus when it's just a group that you like listening to.
Right.
The emotions, the FOMO is a lot stronger in that regard, for sure.
Yeah, because I just, like, to me, I think what I need send off for is, like, this is like me being like maybe like a weird fan, but like I kind of feel like I need closure, and like send off will give me closure, like closure in the sense of like I just want to know they're real.
Yeah.
Like, to be able to like take a photo with them, or even like give them a high five, I think, because like I'll have dreams that, like, the other day I dreamt that I gave Nikki a high five, and I was like, wow, his hands feel like a hand. Like, that was just like what I was thinking in my dream.
Yeah.
Just
I
digesting.
have these like recurring dreams of like me meeting and Hypen and being like, okay, they're real, like, and they like have interacted with me, and I'm just being Delulu right now, but I'm not that crazy where it's like, oh, I want them to fall in love with me when I meet them. It's like, no, it's just like for like personal reasons. Like, I just need to like to know. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I get what you're getting at, because I mean, it's literally, I mean, they're called idols for a reason, right? They're literal idolizations of people, and so it's kind of easy to make them out to be these kind of like abstract
Yes.
figures that you're kind of like looking to as maybe like in some ways a side of like perfection or something to like strive for, or like just something to, I guess, I don't know, just like commit to in a sort of way that, you know, fandom is a pretty unique relationship, I guess. You know what I mean? Like being a fan of, say, like of like, you know, someone like LeBron James, or like
Right.
being a super fan of them versus being, you know, someone who just like adores all of like Brad Pitt's movies or something like that. Like just things like this where they're very clearly, you know, idolizations of people that are portrayed in a very like a specific and marketed way, and so for you to, you know, we spend so much time of, you know, consuming their content, or
Right.
of you know, just viewing them in this kind of third eye,
Yes.
that just having a like face-to-face, like even just like an eye contact moment of like there's a human
Yes.
there,
Yes.
like that is doing all of this, that is, you know, that is trained for all of this, that is, you know, their entire existence is culminated in this kind of interaction or whatever, and so it has a deeper meaning behind it than just I think it has a meaning that people that aren't in any sort of fandom, that don't have an appreciation for like some greater kind of thing, they would not understand the kind of self-fulfillment, or like it's like a sense of relief, a kind of sense of like, yeah, like you said, just like closure, just like,
Yeah.
like completeness, kind of like a like this is, I feel like, yeah, that's I don't really know how to describe
I'm
it.
glad
It's-
you understand. I'm glad
Yeah.
you understand, because I feel like I sound crazy if I talk about it. And just one quick story to wrap up. But my mom was, I talked about this in our server, but my mom was asking me like, oh, so how much are you gonna spend on your Enhypen ticket? And she was like, oh, she was like lowballing it. She was like 400, 500. And I was like, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. Like, maybe after I buy the ticket, I'll tell you, but I'm not telling you right now. And she was like, why? And I was like, because I don't want you to judge me. And she's like, we're already judging you. She's like, you've seen this group multiple times already. You're going to see them again. I was like, what? Yeah, whatever. But my parents overall are chill about it, because they're just like, I guess, taken aback sometimes. But they're chill. They're chill. And they're so sweet, because like when we went to visit, we were in Carrollton for a wedding, and so there's a lot of like Korean shops there, and they literally just like walked me and like went and found the K-pop stores for me, and just like let me browse, and we would go out and they would find the other K-pop store, and they would like be like, oh, there's another one right there, and they would like stand outside, and like while I'm like looking around, I was like, they're so sweet. They're just they don't understand why I like it so much, but they're still like looking out for the K-pop stores.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was very, very sweet of them.
That's nice.
But anyways, yeah, we went a little bit over time, but hope y'all enjoyed our discussion today. Remember, again, follow us on our Instagram at multilife.pod, and we will see you next time. Bye.
See ya.